Hey, it's me, Scythe7, and welcome to part 9 of my Library of Ruina walkthrough, getting right into an Abnormality battle against a Spider Bud. Never really noticed it since I had to be careful not to step on its offspring, but man, it looks gross. And nasty. It never even comes down unless someone hurts its babies. It's merciless, but it still loved its children. Yeah, I love this thing in Lobotomy Corporation. So you couldn't actually see this part of it. It was just like barely visible at the top of the containment chamber. That's so cool. So here we have to kill these in order to be able to attack the main one. I should be able to just nuke one of them right off the bat. Yep. E1010. I have like an okay chance of clashing with this. That was a really good turn. Yeah, I'm not really using block dice. Honestly, I didn't really build for this floor. Just kind of doing what works. I don't know. I think I don't have to kill these things after. I just have to kill this, but I'm not sure. I guess I do have to kill him. Okay. That's fine. Hey, there we go. Spider Bud down. Like how quiet and peaceful this floor can be. And librarians here seem calm and collected, just like you are, Hod. Oh, hey, Roland. They may seem meek and quiet, but when they work hard. I rely on them a lot. I'm relying on my librarians quite a bit too. What are you guys doing anyway, all gathered up here? Doesn't seem like you're sorting books. We're having a meetup of our book discussion club. We pick a book that catches our attention, read it, and then talk about it. Exactly the kind of meetups the librarians on my floor would like to have. I'm guessing your librarians are all gladly joining in with you then? Yeah, they are. They're helping me out with this more passionately than I expected. I was thinking at least some of them would protest out of laziness. Imagine if you asked Netzach to join. He'd have run away before the meetup could even start. Haha, you got that right. He totally would. Still, I can tell things have changed from the past. I used to have similar meetups back in Lobotomy Corp, you see. Really? I suppose those weren't the peaceful book club meetings you have now. You're right, I ran a counseling program with my employees. They're always living in fear of the abnormalities if they were lucky enough to survive. I wanted to be of help somehow. But back then, I imposed myself and my ideas on them too hard. The employees seemed ever so slightly uncomfortable with counseling. I beat myself up over it and let the wound fester inside of me. I was upset that no one understood my goodwill. Sorry to say this, but past you sounds like a tiring one to deal with. Oh, that's true. I know, right? I think so too. All the things I did to help others weren't really out of goodwill or anything. I was just seeking consolation for myself. I wanted forgiveness for the misdeed I committed in my first life. By being helpful to others somehow. So did you get to be a helpful person? No. There's no way to actually be of any help with that kind of mindset. I even tried enkephalin. Enkephalin, huh? Pressure must have been serious if you started doing drugs. Despite everything I tried, I couldn't find salvation anywhere. Nothing I did could liberate me from the fact I was a bad person and a sinner. And then you almost had the chance to take that weight off your minds, but Angela foiled that in the end. Yeah, that's how it went. And when Angela was standing in our way, I was only thinking about myself. Selfish, wasn't I? This was my one and only chance to finally repent once and for all, but it all came to naught. It's silly, I know. I was still too stupid to realize it then. You can't just become a good person through a good deed or two. What really matters is the mindset that prompts you to do such deeds. How do you run into that realization? Well, I learned it after talking to my librarians face to face and holding lots of meetups like this, ironically enough. Carefully suggested having these book club meetups too. Like you said, a few librarians didn't like the idea at first. When I explained why I wanted to hold this meetup and how I felt, they warmed up to it and helped me out with enthusiasm. It wasn't about the method or action itself. I realized that we should lay our hearts out in the open and let our thoughts confront each other. All's well that ends well. For sure. Maybe Angela looked forward to this outcome? Not sure if our prideful Miss Library Director had the delicacy to set up a plan so considerate. I think I'm going to confront her for real this time. For what exactly? Face Angela and let her know what I think. It's gonna take some courage. You're right. Angela still feels a bit distant and scary to me, but I'll try to approach her nonetheless. I'll be rooting for you from the sidelines when that time comes. Might end up losing your limbs again if things don't go well. You're gonna be okay with that. From a distance, of course. Coward just like me, aren't you, Roland? Well hey, birds of a feather flock together. Let's be both brave together as cowards. Yeah, thanks for the encouragement, Roland. So these are really good. Now we'll set up for this next fight. Actually, we'll give Netzach the gun. Because he doesn't like killing. The Book of Porccubus. Okay, this might not be good here. Because I remember it. This is my favorite abnormality, by the way. We'll test it out. I don't think I have a very good setup for this. Some employees would wait for their turn to visit that thing's containment all day. There's nothing ecstatic about seeing a line of headless corpses, though. You can see in the background. And I accidentally went over the other one. Oh, take no damage from ranged pages. Okay. Actually gonna return to the title because I have a completely useless person, if that's the case. But we don't lose anything for returning like that. I guess I'll set up another one of these. I really wish I had more of these. Let's see. They don't have any extra. I wonder if I shouldn't do Walter's page then. Alright, that should be fine enough. Do it again. Oh, now I can read this bottom one. It's not as violent as others, and I heard it can give unimaginable happiness too. So much happiness, your head explodes. Yeah, so you don't want to get 3 pages of pleasure or you take 20 damage. Which is not a fun time. I really didn't draw well here. I don't think I brought a lot of pierce attacks either. Use 6/6. And so here's pleasure, a 1 to 10. So I could actually just deal like a whole bunch of damage if I decided to. Or if I can get like one-sided attacks, that would be really good. So I'll end up getting another pleasure here. I'm okay on stagger, so I don't really want to take this yet. That's getting a little dicey. I have two copies of pleasure on Camille. And then this card can kind of nuke you. Let's see. I don't want to deal with this. I'd almost say just taking the chance here. Because I'm technically rolling 4 to 13s. At the same time, I don't really want to risk getting so many pleasures in my hand. It's just a lot of damage. So I think I'll do this. But this is risky. I want all of these to be one-sided because it's just the most damage I can get. And with the +3 strength, like this is a lot of damage. There we go. That's my favorite abnormality. I love the sound it makes, and like the whole idea behind it is just so funny to me.
오늘은 술 냄새가 안 나는데?
You don't reek of alcohol today. What's up?
안 마셨거든요.
I didn't drink. I just want to stay sober today. It's gotten into you.
무슨 바람이 들었길래? 술을 얻어먹지 못해서.
Look pretty sad to miss out on a chance to drink. Oops, was it that noticeable? Well, today's a special day. The day I died and perished from this world. Really? What's the date again? Hard to keep track of time staying here. The date doesn't really matter. It's the exact moment I'm commemorating. I learned all about the life and death of Giovanni, my first incarnation. That's what you meant, huh? You think the followers of the Church of Gears are a bunch of fools, Roland? I mean how they're so desperate to find meaning in their lives, going so far as to join a cult? Nah, I don't think they're stupid. They're just pitiful. What I think too. I grew up without anyone to call parents. Same here. I was raised by my grandma. Had a rough childhood. I was born in a nest and got left in an orphanage without even knowing who my parents were. I'd have died already if it was the back streets. I was lucky to be born in a nest and unlucky to have lost my parents so early. What nest was it? K-Corpse. It's one of the more decent ones I've heard. Yep, my life was pretty smooth. Slightly more unfortunate than others and slightly luckier than others. Never really starved or got bullied by anyone. It was a sheltered life, free from any outside influence. All I did was breathe in that shelter without meaning. I thought it was the natural thing to do. Everyone else had the same expression as mine. In the school or on the streets, all the people in the nest made the same face. Lost focus, spacing out and staring into empty places? Spawn on. Figured life just comes and goes. Kept living a monotonous life until I met someone with a face I'd never seen before. Oh, guessing you met your first love. I suppose. It's Giovanni's first love, to be exact. She was giving a passionate speech in the middle of the street, even though no one paid attention to her. I barely understood what she was saying, actually. All I could think about was how brilliant and alive a person could be. Love at first sight, eh? Going on about how she'll change this world and its people. And she's looking for recruits to join her cause. Isn't it funny? Who in the nest would want to give up their comfortable life for research like that, really? Yet you did. True. Maybe she went out into the street expecting to run into someone like Giovanni. Her name was Carmen. Carmen, huh? Whenever I saw Carmen brimming with joy and pride for her cause, I felt alive too. I wanted to stay with her forever. Though, she probably just saw me as a good friend or colleague, and nothing more. Ah, the heart-rending agony of unrequited love. It didn't matter to me that much. I was content with living on like that. But then tragedy befalls the research team, right? Yep. Slowly. Progress of our research stagnated, and Carmen gradually lost her liveliness. And then, when a kid named Enoch died during an experiment, as if something within her snapped. I wanted to cheer her up somehow, but seeing Carmen's lethargic face scared me so much. It's like I was erased from the world. Carmen ended her own life soon after that. Sure sounds tragic. Must have shocked you hard. I could take it somewhat well. I was actually pretty calm about it. I thought, even the person who is more alive than anyone could meet such an early and miserable end. I decided to stay in the laboratory to help out with completing the research Carmen started. Our colleagues were still there, and they didn't lose hope just yet. Then one day, they said we might possibly be able to save Carmen. Tempting offer, wasn't it? It was, and guessing it came at a price. As a risky experiment, the subject could slip into a permanent coma if it went wrong. No one was willing to participate, so I volunteered to be the subject. Carmen coming back would have been the ideal outcome, but even if it failed and I ended up sleeping forever, I was okay with that. In a world without Carmen, I lost my light anyway. So I can understand people taking desperate measures to find meaning in their lives, like the Church of Gears we recently saw. I participated in an experiment that could get me killed for a similar reason, and its result was... failure, huh? Yep. Then I was given a second life. Woke up in the lobotomy corp as Netzach. Even though I had already abandoned all attachment to life before I died. In the midst of confusion, I could hear a nostalgic voice. It told me to try and live on. For all those twists and turns, I finally got here. Now with the fearlessness to keep on living. It's a commendable spirit, Nets. And now, I want to actually live, rather than just barely exist while doing nothing but breathe. If I get a chance to, that is. Starting to think it might actually be possible this time around. The world is bigger than I expected, and it has lots of hideous sides, but there certainly is beauty to be found. I guess your drinking habit was a coping mechanism to get you through each day. Pretty much. I do enjoy alcohol for what it is, though. Same for me. I feel like a drink now, shall we? I'm all for it. Cheers for today. Some more pure synergy here. And then the lapping powder is insanely good. When you're hit, you can get back stagger resists. Floor of Natural Sciences, huh? That's the 5th floor we're opening. Its patron librarian is Tiphereth. What's up with all these weird names? Hello, Tiphereth. Are you there? Shut it. Standing right in front of you. Where do you think you're looking? What? You're totally a kid. Actually, a lot taller than I used to be, you know. Oh, compared to your past self in the Lobotomy Corp? No, I mean compared to my first life. I was an actual kid back then, but it looks like I woke up with an older body this time. I'm not sure if it was the library's powers or Angela's thoughtfulness, but this body should be better suited for librarian work, so I'm cool with it either way. Although, if it actually took all the years I've lived into account, I'd have to look a bit older. Putting that aside, isn't it a little rude to punch someone you just met in the face? This is giving me flashbacks. Well, it's because you're being such a clumsy dork. What's your name anyways? Roland, previously a fixer scraping at the bottom of the barrel. Current status, helping Angela. Suppose you've already met the ones of the upper layer. Upper layer? I thought I was going up, not down. Right, it would be the lower floors this time around. Still, you get what I mean, so just roll with it. Sheesh, aren't you the sassy one? I'm Tiphereth, in charge of the floor of natural sciences. Not doing science required actual thinking, though. Oh no you don't, you silly little thing. Pretty brisk with throwing punches, but it's not quite as quick as someone I used to know, eh? Stop looking down on me, will you? I heard a lot of stuff about science in my past workplace, you know? Probably a lot older than you in actual age, too. What's the point of being older if that doesn't reflect your words and actions, little miss? How's Angela doing, anyway? Curious as always, she almost feels like a child sometimes. It's understandable, I suppose. Angela lived her whole life in a basement, after all. Yeah, so she never even got to see outside. I'm guessing you aren't holding some deep-rooted grudge against her like the other librarians are. I roughly know what she went through. I thought she was just cruel, but I could see some events of the past while I was asleep. I could also see things happening in the present, all the way down to the moment you woke me up. I can understand Angela somewhat. I'm pretty sure the librarians who are still asleep all have a grasp on what's going on as well. But the idiots on the upper layer, I mean the lower floors, still seem kinda confused. Do you agree with Angela's choice? Depends on the one final choice she'll make at the end of this. I'm willing to help her out for now, at least. Our primary goal is the same, all things considered. To complete the library? Yep. Light is only truly meaningful if it shines for 7 days straight. Always refreshing to meet an amicable librarian for once. Alright, I'll make sure to bring some picture books next time as a bonus. It's got another floor. Good stuff. We have some interesting choices here. I think I want to do this floor, but I want to go ahead and equip or re-equip Yasad's floor.
아니죠. 이건 아니에요.
Oh no, this won't do.
더 이상 드릴 돈이 없습니다.
But ma'am, we don't have any cash left to offer you.
돈이 없다면
If you're out of money, then you shouldn't have asked for more protection from us, no?
밖은 전부 연기 속에 파묻혀 있습니다. 나가면 무슨 일이 벌어질지도 모르잖아요. 죽을 겁니다.
But the outside is covered in fog. We don't know what's out there. We'll get killed.
그렇다고 집에만 있으면
We aren't safe here either. Thugs could break in at any moment.
이분들도 참.
Oh, give me a break.
둥지 출신이라든지
This life must be too engraved in your heads to get where you stand right now.
그래도 이
Thought maybe we could
근방에서
expect
제일
better
머리가
from the
괜찮은
household with the
분으로
highest income around here.
사요.
사요.
하나 자를까?
Shall we cut one off?
부탁해요.
Please do. These people will have to become accustomed to the rules of the back streets soon enough.
어이.
Hey,
이번 수업
consider this a free lesson for you.
한 명씩 파란 쪽
We take one arm from each. Please, have mercy on us. We can't be such heartless people.
너희는
Did you spare any mercy for us while we struggled in the back streets, covered in filth and blood? No, you simply spectated our suffering from the comfort of the nest, did you not?
생각해보니 괘씸하네요.
Rather infuriating now that I think about it. Yang,
이분들
let us take an eye from them as well.
알겠습니다.
Yes, dame.
팔 하나씩 일단 받아두었고.
Got your arms first.
당신들이 다짜고짜
We didn't ask for this. You people came to our house all of a sudden and threatened us to pay protection money.
그래서 우리가 보호를
So have we
안
kept you
해줬어?
safe or not? I'm pretty sure we took care of all the bad guys trying to get here.
눈도 한쪽씩 받아두었습니다.
And got your eyes as well. What do we do? How are we gonna live now?
하루아침에 둥지가 무너졌어.
The nest fell so suddenly.
완전 애새끼들이구만. 이 정도만 받아가는 것도.
There's something to note, this is Elcor's nest. What a bunch of crybabies. We're being quite generous as backstreets businesses go.
자,
Now, we'll be going then. Please don't forget today's lesson.
무언가를
If
받으면
you receive something, you should return that favor accordingly. Imagine if it was the ring protecting this area, not us.
우리 흑은애가 아니라
Dear, the thought alone is terrifying. Oh, and please leave this house by tomorrow.
내일까지 빼주세요. 긴
Jin, confiscate the apartment deed from these people, will you?
다음에 오는 친구들은
You'll be visited by much less pleasant fellows next time, so you'd better move out as soon as possible.
고비도 걷었고
Now then, we've collected the protection money and got our fabric. Should we go back and pay our due credit?
참,
Ah, by the way, Jin, how's the current situation with Elcorp's nest?
치열해.
It's fierce. This is the first time in a long while the thumb and the index got in a turf war over an area.
다들 어지간히도 있다.
Everyone must be thinking this is the promised estate or something.
우리도 마찬가지잖아요.
Same can be said for us, no?
녹슨 사슬들도
On another note, the rusted chains already proved to be an issue. We've been colliding with blade lineage more often these days.
더 과열되기 전에
Perhaps we should have a friendly conversation with them before the tension overheats.
누님, 도망치십시오.
Run, Dame!
뭐냐, 넌.
What are you?
안녕들 한가?
Sup, fellas?
소득은 좀
Got some gains with your business?
머리가 개네.
Just the head of a dog? A dog in black coat?
요즘 젊은 애들 사이에서
Those kinds of surgery is hip with the kids these days?
부조장.
Captain, that appears to be the one recently dubbed as the Hair de Lou.
어머,
Oh,
개가 아니라
actually, I don't think you pronounced that right at all.
아무리
Oh, so she's a wolf, not a dog. Still appears to be a little bitch to me.
웃기지? 지금 실컷 웃어.
Funny, isn't it? Laugh while you can. Hey, this got changed. That's cool.
여기 있는 흑은애가 대충 100마리.
This used to be capitalized, and I actually went ahead and, I guess, helped find places where it was like that. Let's see, we have around 100 Kurokuma punks here.
다 조져버릴 수 있다.
Speak as if you can take us all on.
어.
That's the plan, yeah.
저 강아지
Let's teach that pup a
교육 좀
lesson.
해야겠네.
아, 약해
Eh,
빠졌구만.
weak sauce.
너네는 이런 모습이
Could have crushed you
되기
like
전에
bugs even
나였어.
before I turned into what I am now.
다들
Alright,
여기 무릎 꿇고
why don't you
앉아.
gather around and kneel?
돼진 놈들은 어쩔 수 없.
The dead, well, they can't be helped.
원하는 게 무엇이죠?
What is it that you want?
에휴,
Hey, I have plenty of wants, gal.
돈도 좀 많이
I want to have a ton of
주고
cash in my hands.
한번 등지에서도
I want to live in a nest for once too.
근데
But before any of that, I want to make some music.
미친.
Fucking hell. Shut your yap already.
오,
Oh, look at their skull
대가리
go.
멀리도 날아가네.
You're right out of the park. Home run.
저희에게 원하는 것이
Tell us what you demand from us.
아,
Oh, what do I want from you guys?
맞아.
Right, that was the point.
본론이었지? 우선 너네들
First off, the piece of cloth you're carrying, give me that.
그거
이 누보 온다는
This Nuovo fabric is for the thumb though.
우리 대장이
The boss showed me
관심을
interest in that thing.
좋은 찬이라던데.
Heard that's pretty nice cut of cloth.
연주 전에 옷 좀
Guess he wants us to suit up before the performance.
엄지를 적으로 돌리면
I must know the
어떻게 될지
consequences of making an enemy of the
보지는
thumb.
않을 텐데.
검지?
The thumb?
다덤비라
Tell him to bring it on. I'ma smash them all.
아, 그리고
Oh, and take your goons to the library, will ya?
도서관으로 좀 가봐라.
도서관.
The library? The building that is rumored to be at the center of this nest?
중심에 있다고 하는.
그래, 그거.
Yep, that thing.
당신도 역시.
So you are after the wealth this land can bring after all.
아니라고 해도 그러네.
I told you that's not it.
돈을 벌고 싶은
I do want to earn some bucks, but music comes first.
일단 음악부터 할 거라고.
대체 왜지?
But for what reason?
낸들 아나.
Beats me, my boss?
아니지.
No. I mean, the orchestrator of our ensemble wants us to get rid of all those noisy syndicates, like the thumb or the index, so that we can make some music. And fancy suits, too.
그리고 도서관도
And help out the library while we're at it.
도서관을 도와줘.
Help out the library?
에헤.
Shush, gal. Keep your eyes low if you don't want to get dead.
아무튼.
Anyways, you guys can take this and head to the library like I said.
어서들 가봐.
Go on ahead.
어허.
Come on, get going already.
내 눈앞에서 초대장
If you don't use the
사용하면
invitation right now, I'll kindly remove all the bones from your flesh.
다들
Let us prepare to go, everyone.
준비하세요.
Wait, what? Hold on. I'll remove all the bones from your flesh? Shouldn't it be flesh from your bones?
손이 부들부들
Your hands are shaking, Gally. You sure you're alright? Are you mad at me by any chance?
나.
아닙니다.
No, it's nothing.
그리고
One more thing. If you run off without the books in your hands, you're also dead to me.
나한테 뒤져.
굉장히 과격한 걸?
That was quite intense.
엘사가 무너져서
Looks like the fingers are fiercely wrestling for the ownership of the nest that L Corp once had reign over.
둘이 무슨 상관인데?
Why would they, though?
알박기라고 들어봤어.
Ever heard of holdouts? When a wing is broken, its nest collapses and gradually turns into a slum akin to the back streets.
주인이 없는 땅에는 규칙도
It becomes a
없는 법이지.
lawless land without an owner to uphold anything.
땅을 차지하려고 몰려드는 여러
Then a bunch of
종족은
syndicates
미리
come
선정.
rushing in to occupy the land in
그
advance.
다음은?
What happens next?
언제까지고 날개가
The vacancy in the wings won't stay open forever. When a new wing rises and gets assigned a nest, the syndicate resells that land to the wing.
물론 날개가 해결사나 다른 조직을 고용해서 힘으로 몰아낼 수도 있지만 그건 그때 가서 생각할 일이지.
Of course, the wing can choose to hire fixers or other syndicates to kick out the syndicate with force instead, but that's another story.
원래 살고 있던 깃털들은 어떻게
What
되는
happened to the feathers living in the nest?
살고 있던 녀석들
Those folks, well,
알아서 살 길 찾아야지.
they're all on their own.
해결사를 고용하든
Hire a fixer or get evicted to the back streets or try and join another wing, or anything. A nest without its wing is no longer a safe haven for its residents.
도시답네.
It's typical of the city. If you can't grasp whatever opportunities you find with your own hands, you're bound to fall behind. I wonder what's up with that puppy anyway.
뒤틀림 같아 보였어.
That looked like a case of the distortion.
뒤틀림?
Distortion? It's not exactly what I imagined.
그래.
Indeed, she appears to be highly rational.
저기
You call that rational?
너보다도 훨씬.
She seems much more rational than you are, at the very least.
이러면 안 되는데.
This was not meant to be.
저 개대가리는
Where the hell did that bitch head come from?
어디 하룻강아지가 하늘 높은 줄 모르고 개기고 있어.
How dare an impudent whelp like her bite at us superior beings?
부조장.
Calm down, Captain. Let's report this to the thumb right after we take care of this.
그래야겠네요.
Yes, let us do that.
엄지 소속인 우리 흑은회를
Ridiculous that someone could treat us, Kurokuma clan, a thumb subsidiary, with such disrespect.
그 말이 맞아요.
Here, here.
그리고
Although we're in a bad situation, the books listed on this invitation are tempting offers for sure.
사육제도
It seems that the carnival have ended up turning into books.
그러고 보니 이
And
책은
this book is related to the nest of L Corp too.
환영합니다, 손님.
Greetings, dear guests.
어떻게 우리에게
How did you manage to collect the books we need the most?
그게 도서관의 역.
Such as the role of the library.
피를 머금은 곳에
This place exudes the smell of blood.
손님에게서도 피 냄새가.
And you reek of blood as well, dear guests.
어머, 그런가요?
Oh my, do we?
돌아가면
Set up a bathhouse for a warm one once we finish this.
좋은 생각이에요.
Good idea. There's nothing like a good bath to blow off some steam on a bad day.
제격이죠?
술은 내가 사도록 하지.
Drinks are on me.
그런데 남아 있는
Are there even any bathhouses or pubs left in L Corp's nest anyway?
그것도 확실히 그렇네요.
It's a fair point. We have so much to report and take care of. So much to think about.
언제까지
Are you done with your chit chats now?
부채기는
Now, Pushy. Now then, shall we head inside?
부디.
May you find your book in this place. Only 3 people? Okay. But this reception focuses on bleed. Lots and lots of bleed. It also gets our first really good light restore page. So let's see how we do. Dang, that was a high roll. So that will kill. Fortunately, I can't play anything with him. Oh, it actually didn't kill. We got the other one. This is where things get a little more interesting, because Sayo is really strong. All of her slash dice automatically get +1 power. She inflicts a ton of bleed, especially with ink over. She also can boost the power of slash dice when she plays sharpened blade. It's only for the scene she plays this on though, and it also counts towards the dice on sharpened blade. So you actually roll for 3 to 4. And obviously page draw, just something we want. And even with these guys, same thing. They inflict a ton of bleed. Yang focuses more on damage, and he has a ton of these. What the heck? It's a pretty good defensive card too, and Jin gains a lot of protection for himself. He's kind of tanky. He kind of dishes out damage, but not nearly as much as the other two. I think it's best to focus Yang first. So look at that, 5 bleed. Now this will stagger Yang. Crackodon's really good against this. Because evade die, when they clash with block die, they can still gain stagger resist back for you if you win the clash, but they don't get re-rolled. And I guess I'll just go for some damage on Seiyo. Oh, look at all that paralyze. It's actually on a pretty good scene because now all of these cards are lowered. And as you can see, this first card gains power for every card she has in hand, and you can see how many cards they have in their hand, so 2. So this will actually roll for 3 to 8. I don't know how I want to clash with it. I think this is pretty good. I'd also redirect if I need to. I think I'll go ahead and do actually no, I'll just take the damage on her. Now I can stagger her, and I'll be able to stagger Jin as well. This might kill. Do I want to kill him yet? Not really. So I think I'll do that just to get his emotion up because he's at 0. And I want more of his books. So should I kill him yet? I mean, he still has a little room to actually get more books out of him. I'll clash with that, and then want to get them just a little lower. Luckily he has protection, so each of these attacks will do at least 3 less damage. And I don't need to play anything with Hunter. Okay, Jin's just gonna die from burn at the end of the scene. Okay, this will probably kill, but we'll see. Yep. My ineptitude is to blame. I'm sorry about this. This won't do. You haven't fully served your role yet. Yep, and now I'll get 3.9 copies of Seo's book. We'll go ahead and take her down. Her page is really good. We'll probably get even more guests trying to take over L Corp's nest.
그 말은 늘 하잖아.
You always say that. Is there any real difference?
아까 걔 머리통 녀석이 하는 말
You heard what that doghead said? Now we have the thumb, the index, and whatever third party she belongs to.
그냥 뜨내기 조직이면
Doesn't sound like a random run-of-the-mill syndicate, seeing how she talked to the members by finger with so much confidence.
큰 조직들뿐만 아니라
Seems it's not just the major syndicates that have incentive
이유가 없다는 거네.
to be involved in a turf war like this, if smaller syndicates are meddling in so willingly.
뭐 그렇지.
Well, basically.
위에 있는 놈들이 관심을 보이면
Whatever goods the head honchos take interest in are naturally going to attract the attention of those below them.
엄지나 검지 같은 손가락들이 직접 나서진 않겠지만 그 아래는
Some or the index probably won't take direct action for now, but their subordinates are nothing to sneeze at.
지금 상황에서 이 이상으로
Grabbing their attention might be beneficial for the library's wealth of info, but it's going to be tough for us to stop them if we escalate things any further from here.
다른 손가락들이
Just hope the other fingers stay out of this. Things would get out of hand otherwise.
결과만 좋다면 난 만족해.
I'm fine with it as long as the results benefit us. I'll burn some books. Hey, got everyone. Nice. And I really like Seo's page. I like making bleed builds. They combine, or they synergize really well with Hod's 4. Because of this card, you can apply twice as many stacks of bleed. So I'll end up making a page for that. Kurokuma, Henchman's page. Hear that news? We're about to collide with Kingfishers again. Kingfishers? Don't remember that name at all. Are they a real thing? You know, the syndicate that's been struggling with finance and feuds between members recently. They seem to be getting back on their feet after raiding the Constellars, but it looks like that didn't last long. They were irrelevant chumps, so I completely forgot about them. The Knots seem to be after them. Maybe they finally hit them. Weaklings will get hounded. Now they've been trying to invade our territory, desperate to loot anything. Doesn't matter, their names wouldn't be so unmemorable if they were any strong. Taking them down shouldn't be a problem. And the fixers at Clam office that were cooperating with them from the back are gone too. Clam? What are they about? Good question. Now, Jin's page. A fallen nest no longer has an owner to protect its inhabitants. What happens to them then? In the wreckage of the nest that's gradually turned into an environment similar to the backstreets, all they can do is accept horrible deaths, as backstreets residents do, or hire a fixer, or pay protection fees to one of the powerful syndicates that enter the nest and be under their care. Some move to a different wing, but this is an exceptionally rare case. The syndicate may charge ridiculously expensive fees, but they will keep you safe for sure once you pay them. If an even stronger syndicate comes in, drives off the others, and asks you to pay a protection fee, then there's no choice but to give your new protectors what they ask for. They'll protect you with their lives as long as you still have money to pay. The assets will become useless when you die anyhow, so you might as well spend it to extend your life for just a little longer. The former feathers don't have a choice in this matter. If they don't pay the fee, they'll die or get kicked out. It'd be a miracle to walk out unharmed. Yeah, it sounds like when a nest collapses, things just go, like, terribly. I guess what it does, I guess you can conceptualize it as a giant power vacuum happens. Yang's page. There are two kinds of folks who hang around in the backstreets at night, the predator and the prey. Pretty much everything going on in the city can be described as savage. Yeah, that's no joke. But the other parts of the city at least put up the effort to package them in gentlemanly guises. Even a cheap hamburger made from whatever unspeakable ingredients is still wrapped in a modern and rich packing, yeah? On the other hand, the backstreets at night are filled with raw and blatant barbarity. Not even a layer of crude cover is there to censor this brutality. No deed is forbidden. No one is held responsible. Imagining the most appalling, vulgar, and filthy deed you can think of. I won't dare say beyond your imagination, since I have no idea how insane you might be. I can guarantee that whatever you're thinking casually happens somewhere in the dark alleys of the backstreets at night. Despite all that, people still inhabit the backstreets. They doggedly struggle and survive in their own ways there. Now, Seo's page. The hand of the backstreets is possibly the biggest reason no one dares to take care of the lawless land that is the backstreets. No associations or wings can touch it, and not even the head itself can easily interfere. 5 syndicates at the apex of the backstreets are called the Thumb, Index, Middle, Ring, and the Pinky, namely. They parcel out districts of the backstreets and comprehensively manage their territories, periodically hold meetings to efficiently control the backstreets. They call this conference the Finger Bell Bell. I'm uncertain as to whether this name is meant to suggest that they actually make pinky swears not to invade each other's territories, or if they call it as such simply because the fingers gather in one place. The mind of higher-ups is a mystery truly. Going back to the topic, when the Finger Bell Bell nears, all members of the 5 fingers will try to avoid conflict and refrain from causing big problems. It's thanks to the leaders of each syndicate who caution their subordinates that fights between the smaller syndicates could grow into a massive conflict between the big ones, perhaps. Subsidiary syndicates ran into trouble, the seniors at the Finger Bell Bell would be faced with quite the embarrassment now, wouldn't they? True. And in the next part, we have probably do this and then just keep moving left from there. There's not really a right way, like you can do any of these in whatever order you want to. This is just kind of how I choose to. But that's what's going to be in the next one, and I will see you then. Peace.